God created aircraft mechanics because pilots need heroes too. My name is Travis Jacobs. My job title here at 4Aviators is I'm an aircraft mechanic, AME. I'm a licensed engineer, and I help oversee looking all the planes getting fixed, and the guys come to me if they have any problems due to my knowledge in aviation, and I try and assist the guys wherever I can. I remember as a kid, I'd go into my dad's garage where he was building a car engine for someone, and after he had finished fixing it, I would strip it apart to see how he did it. And so, I was always just mechanically there, like that's all I wanted to do. What I do in my career is I will rebuild, paint, fix engines, pull engines apart, change components that need to be changed, reassemble it, put it back on an aircraft. I also ensure that all aircraft remain in the sky in a flying condition so that the pilots can feel safe when they're flying. So everything has to be done either the correct way or not done at all. I was drawn into aviation by being a third generation in aviation. So my grandfather, he was born and bred in aviation. My dad was born and bred in aviation. And due to them being in aviation, I used to spend my weekends from 5-6 years old walking around with my grandfather and my father. It's all I knew from growing up. For me, getting into the career, when I was younger, I was never a person that liked academics. I was very athletics, very hands-on person. As a youngster, I was always mechanically inclined. In my job, most of the time what I spend doing, all your routine maintenance, mandatory inspections, which the manufacturer puts out, oil changes, we'll go through all control cables, go through the aircraft, make sure everything is safe and sound. No cracks, no frays in a cable. Frays are basically broken strands in the cable. We'll go through the engine, we'll try and see in the oil for signs for the engine failure. We try and detect things before they happen. The thing that I love most about my job is at the end of the day, once I've gotten that aircraft flying, to me it's satisfying knowing that I've taken something and made it perfect for other people to fly and enjoy. To me, the biggest reward is when a pilot lands safely down on the ground with a smile from having an awesome flight. That is a good enough reward that I know that I gave him that opportunity to be able to do that. What makes me good at my job is I'm really good with my hands. Also, attention to detail. Everything has to be done the right way. If it's not right, you got to be able to come up with a solution to solve the problem. So for Aviators and Marta, what we're trying to do, Marta is in Johannesburg, is their main branch, which is their only branch. So Marta has approached us and we approached them to start a base facility here in Cape Town, just to give more opportunity for people in different areas to get into aviation. You can get sponsorship from TITA, which Marta is TITA accredited. So you can get sponsorship from places like TITA to join into aviation. From there, after you've gotten in, you've done your theory, whether it be through sponsorship or whether you are paying for it yourself, then Marta and 4Aviators, we also try and help and assist to get you into AMO so that you can actually get some physical work hands-on in the industry. Which once we get you into an AMO, you'll generally work there for about 2 years before you'll come back to Marta to do your trade test. And then once you've passed your trade test, you can either choose to go back to the same AMO we got you into, or that you got yourself into, to carry on going, because it takes another 2 years after your trade test in order to get your first license. And then once you've got your first license, then the world's your oyster. The 3 students that are here at the moment from Marta, our first Marta students that we've gotten. Then we also have 3 guys that have not been to Marta, that have not done theory. They're just ordinary guys that wanted to get into aviation. One of the guys that we've got here actually started as a cleaner and now he's a mechanic, and he's now busy doing his apprenticeship, which when it comes to apprenticeship, you've got 3 different options you can do. If you have matric maths and science, you can do a 5-year apprenticeship where you don't have to do theory. Then after that, you'll go for a sort of test at like Marta, a facility like Marta, where they'll see if you are ready to actually trade test. And then you can trade test without doing any theory. One of our appies are actually busy doing that at the moment. He's qualifying now in the next 2-3 months, doing it that way. The second one is a 7-year apprenticeship, where you work for 7 years. You don't need matric to do that. You just need 7 years worth of experience working as an aircraft maintenance engineer, and you can go for trade test and you can get into the industry that way. And then the third way, which is the fastest way, is doing your MARTA apprenticeship, which is 10 months of theory, 2 years of practical in any AMO, and then you can go for trade test. An AMO is an aircraft maintenance organization. The journey between 4Aviators and MARTA, I feel, is a really good journey, because we're going to get a lot more people into the industry. We're going to be able to reach a lot more people. I mean, all of us, we have different connections in aviation, which we can all bring together to come to one common goal, to get more aircraft maintenance engineers into the industry, as there is a huge shortage of aircraft maintenance engineers in this industry currently. If you come from a background of unprivileged, there are still many routes for you to get into aviation. No dream is out of reach. Your only limitation in life is not where you come from, it's not your background, how much money you have. It is basically what you think is achievable in your own life.